Hey, what's good, guys? This is LC Sean here. Happy Sunday. I just want to touch base with you guys. If you guys don't know who I am a self-published author, a poet, and a certified life coach and motivational speaker. The reason why I started this page here is to basically help people like myself and give advice that comes just from my past experiences in life. Okay. I have had several ups and downs, and I've learned that you can have everything in the world and think that you're doing it yourself and have so much confidence that it's me, I did this and I did that, and have those things being taken away from you. I grew up in the church. I actually have a couple of spiritual gifts, and I really don't like talking about them, but because this is my page, I'm going to go ahead and talk about them. As a kid, I was a dreamer. I used to see things as well. I used to talk to God, but I realized that the way that God talked to me was via dreams. And it really got so bad to where I asked God to, you know what, take those things away from me because I ain't ready for that. You know what I mean? And it wasn't like I never knew who God was, and I never knew who I was going to be in the life, my ups and downs, because He basically been revealing them to me since I was 6 years old. But because I am, or I was who I was, and I was hard headed and I didn't want to listen. I thought I had all control. I thought I can beat, whatever it is that he was, that I'm not going to be like that. He was like, yeah, well, I can show you better than I can tell you. A few years ago, I was literally sitting on the top of the world. I had any and everything that anyone out here in this world can ask for: money, stability, a stable house, home, people who love me, and I got really, really cocky. Okay, and God was just like, you think you're doing all this. I never gave him thanks. You know what I mean? As much as I believed in God, I never said, you want to know what? I never gave him the gratitude and the thanks that I should have. Because again, I thought I was in control. I thought I was doing all of this on my own, and I wasn't really doing shit. A few years ago, God took all of that away from me. And this is possibly the most vulnerable that I've ever been in life, even down to my relationships. This is the most vulnerable I've ever been in. And that really humbled me a whole lot. And I'm still humble. But at the end of the day, I'm very grateful for the things that did happen because it made me appreciate who I am and the experiences and the fact that I know that I can't do anything without God. Okay. When I say I'm a dreamer, I can ask God for clarity, and even though majority of my dreams are probably like confusing and I'd be jumping from scene to scene or whatever, um, I get the clarity and the understanding that I do need. And this experience that I've been experiencing for the past 3 years, almost 3 years now, is the most clarity I've ever received in my life. And during these ups and downs that I've had, I actually met someone as well. And it was like right when I met them, you know what I mean, is when all of this stuff started happening to me. And they could not understand why, if I was so up here, why did I get knocked down back here? And then why did it take me so long to get to the place that I am now, in the place of peace? And again, even though God revealed it to me, He revealed even my relationship with this individual. I thought I can control it, so I tried to stop it. And the more that I tried to stop these things, the more my downfall accelerated and accelerated and accelerated. I started losing jobs. I lost my home. I lost my vehicle. One caught on fire with me in it on the way to work, and the other, I was 5 days late on the payment, and the car dealership repossessed my car, and she didn't believe that. And it was just because of the type of place that I bought my car from. Um, the mofos took it right there. I was at her house. And I made my payment because they told me that I had to pay it by the end of business day, and I actually paid it, and they still came and picked up my vehicle. And to the revelation about in my connection with this individual, God revealed to me that because I prayed for a soulmate, I prayed for a fated connection, I prayed for a mirror image of myself, someone who was like me, who was good looking, who had a career, who was godly, and things of that nature. But God also revealed to me that this connection that I was going to get in I was going to lose it all. And that not only myself, but this individual was going to display red flags as well. Okay. I've never gotten so much clarity about anything because any of my past relationships that I've ever been in, any of my careers and my goals, everything seemed to always go right. Yes, we all have ups and downs, but I have never been to this level of down before in my life, ever. Okay. So again, I thought I had control over it. I thought that I could kind of stop it because again, here I am. I'm over here thinking that I'm in control again. All right. And every time that I try to put my hand in it and not allow the things to go the way that he told me that they were going to go. I shouldn't say asked, but he told me that they were going to go. It just accelerated. It accelerated, it accelerated, and accelerated. And then the individual that I am deeply in love with and still, we're separated at this time, but I've never again been this vulnerable with anyone because again, this meeting was fated and I met my soulmate. And that's another topic or subject that I'm going to talk about connections and soulmates. Okay. Not on this video, but I was still managing to go above and beyond for them, but not apply that same energy within myself. When I asked God for a mirror image, okay, the mirror image that he gave me was a version of myself, but it was a version of myself that was almost narcissistic. It was that ego power trip individual that I was maybe 10 years prior. And one thing I can honestly sit back and say is this, because there is a moral to this particular video here, and I do apologize because, again, this is my first time ever, sharing my life experiences or basically putting myself out there. Within this last year, I have watched myself transition and transform, maybe not on the outside, maybe not in, the stability part of my life, which is very important to people and into relationships, but that stable person in the inside, my spirit, my peace, my soul. And there was a lot of push-pull within myself. There was a lot of me pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring into other people and expecting that validation, and always had that woe it's me type of thing, to where now I took that same energy and I learned that you can love and you cannot lose yourself as well. And that was really hard for me because I'm a giver, and the way that I do love, that I've learned to love without expecting anything in return, okay? But I still had that people pleasing shit in me as well, okay? Where I'm like, well, if you reject me, well, let me go and do this, because then that's a way of, I show my love. I learned that one of my love languages is giving, but I don't give to expect anything in return, because the only thing that I ask in return is the same type of love that I give out. And I'm learning, in this dating thing and I'm not on social media. I canceled, my Instagram, my Facebook, my threads, all of that. I'm not on TikTok. I'm not on anything like that. This is the only social media that I do have. Hell, I was on Discord and I just got off that, you know what I mean? Because I had to block out all the noise that I had going on in the inside of me. And again, I was out here seeking validation. Again, I was out here, once things started looking up for me, here I go, going back to that same behavior and that same energy. And God just kept bringing me back full circle every time. He says, when are you going to learn? When are you going to learn, Sean? And I said, you know what? I surrender. I surrender everything to you. This is not even my life anymore. This is your life. And whatever is for me will come to me through you. And throughout this past year, because I was away, I was in South Texas for a while, and then I decided to come back into Central Texas. When I was in South Texas, I was thriving. I was thriving. I was on a whole nother level, and then I came back up here and I kind of fell back into that same pattern again. And I had to like take a step back from myself. Excuse me, I got a notification coming through. I don't know what it is because I'm recording right now. But I realized that I was falling almost back into that same pattern. And then me and my connection, we fell back out again. And I asked God, I was like, hey, what is it? What is it that I'm doing wrong? What is it that you want me to do? What is my purpose on this world? What is my goal in life? What is it that you're asking me to do? What am I actually good at? Because I now learn how to be vulnerable. I now learn how to surrender. I learned that I am not in control of anything out here. I learned that the only validation that I need, it comes from you and it comes from myself. And he says, I want you to use your voice, Sean. I want you to expose yourself. I want you to write. I want you to journal. I want you to continue to seek therapy. And I did that, and I'm doing that. So now I have published 4 books. I have taken majority of everything that I have written possibly throughout the past 15 years of my life. And I kind of turned it into small stories, and I turned it into poetry. And they're not long books because I don't believe in, holding somebody hostage within their time. And if you needed anything to reference back, that you can go back to it, with ease. I try to make things easy for people. And that's one thing that I learned, is that I make things easy for everyone else, but I'm not making things easy for me. I am losing myself in everything around that's going on around me. And I should be technically losing myself within me. Okay. And one thing that I am thankful for is I'm thankful for these experiences, and I'm thankful that I'm not ashamed anymore to talk to individuals about this, because the person that I'm in love with, and even though we're going through our ups and downs right now, and this is not one of those, oh man, he light skinned and he's sensitive and things like that. I need that toxic masculinity shit. Y'all need to throw that shit away, because you need to learn how to balance men and women both. Okay, your feminine and your masculine energy. Once you start mastering that, and you start taking yourself out, and you start coming from a wholehearted place and a place of understanding, you'll learn a lot about yourself. I no longer go to like my homeboys or anything like that for advice. What the hell am I going to them for? Hell, they all toxic. Look at their life. Some of them are in marriages that, they're unhappy with, and some of them out here being hoes. And one, I'm not a hoe anymore. Just because we light skin and all that don't make us all hoes. Just because we light skin don't make us all sensitive. Everybody has a sensitive part of them. But I am tired of this toxicity of giving and giving and giving and giving, and there's no reciprocity, especially when you're not giving yourself that same thing that you're pouring out. And in return, what you're pouring out, you're not receiving that same thing back in return. I know I'm everywhere with this. But again, this is my first time ever coming out, so, and exposing myself and actually talking publicly about my experiences. But this is where God is leading me to. And this is the first time that I am truly thankful for everything that I honestly have. I have a job. I have a place to live. I'm still in therapy. I'm writing. I'm healing. And all of that takes time. I'm not perfect. A lot of people don't know that I'm an ordained minister, and I got ordained back in 2013. And I know that my calling is to bring people closer to their spirituality, closer to their self, closer to them looking at their mirror and taking accountability for their actions. I know that is one thing that he's asking me to do. And if I can speak and talk about him and tell people that I am a walking testimony of God's wrath, God's grace, and God's protection, provision, being a provider in my life, I am that. Because I don't understand half of the things that happen in my life. And when I ask God for something, he is just like, it doesn't come the way that I think it's going to come. It comes in other ways. And then I asked for that peace and that clarity and that sense of understanding. And he was just like, well, you asked me for this, Sean. And it doesn't, sometimes it just doesn't come the way that you think it's going to come. Okay. And when you start to learn how to manage what you have now, and you put all that trust and you meditate and you love on yourself and you start treating yourself better, because when you start treating yourself better, you'll know how to treat other people. And when you start treating yourself better, you'll know what you are going to accept and not accept. And I had to start looking in the mirror and start taking accountability for me. And I started putting my faith in, I started trusting more in God, and he has just been coming through and coming through and coming through. And I want to tell you this, and I know it's long and all of that, and I know that I went every doggone where in this video, but I'm going to break more videos down for you guys because I want to share a lot of my experience with you guys. I don't give advice, and the advice that I do give, it is based off of what I went through and how I handled it, and the things that I was doing wrong that I couldn't accept because pride and ego wouldn't allow me to accept that or change my way of thinking. There's one thing that I do know is that there is a God, there is a higher being, and just because your life does not look like those around you, that doesn't mean that you're failing. It means that you have got to learn to maintain what you have now. That way, when that overflow and that abundance comes to you, you will know how to handle that and you won't crack under pressure. Okay? I want you to start talking to yourself better. I want you to seek mental health. I want you to start meditating. And if you don't believe in God, if you believe in universe, if you believe in Buddha or whatever it is, that's what you believe in. But at the end of the day, I want you to understand that you need to believe in you. And a lot of the beliefs that we are carrying around, a lot of the things that we claim that we believe in, they're not our beliefs. They are beliefs of our parents and then their parents and then their parents, and it's generational things. And there's a lot of things that I don't believe in that my family believes in. I know that there's a God. I know that God made us all in his image. I don't judge anyone. I have my different perception on God. And I just know that if God made us in his image, and again, like I said, I don't judge anybody. I don't judge nothing because I am not the Alpha and I'm not the Omega. But what I do believe is that the only heaven and hell that's out here is the heaven and hell that we created ourselves. The church is us. And if he made us in this image, we have that same power. We are not him, but we do have that same power to make changes. Okay? And if we want happiness out here in the world, if we want clarity out here in the world, he will give us that. You can give yourself that. Okay? But if you want to cause hell and you keep living your life just like it, you're creating that within yourself. You're going to keep attracting that within yourself. Start looking in the mirror and start taking accountability for you. And I also want to let you know that the people that we have in our life, if you didn't experience the things that they're experiencing, if you cannot come from a place of understanding, then you are not the person that you claim to be. And you damn for sure don't need to be the person in their life, because you could be triggering things in this individual, okay? And you may not understand it, you may get mad or whatever, but there are a lot of men and women out here, guys, that suffer from mental health, that suffer from bipolar, that suffer from abandonment issues. And there's nothing that we can do but be patient with them. There's nothing that they can do if that's you, but be patient with you. Start expecting and doing better. I'm sorry, I'm getting brain farts and stuff, but start expecting and doing better for you. Start loving you, okay? Because self-love is the best reflection and projection that you can show people. And if you can love yourself, warts and all, I'm not saying physical warts because I don't know, I'm not talking about STDs, you know what I mean, or anything of that nature. And even if you did have one, that's you. That's your that's you, and I'm not judging you for it, okay? And there's no offense to anyone who has an STD or who is dealing with that. When I say the ugly parts of you, when I say the warts in there, I mean the ugliest of the ugliest parts of you. If you can start accepting those and then start healing those one by one, the true beauty within yourself, your true light, your true meaning, your true self will show. Stop trying to be like everybody else. Stop lying to yourself. Stop telling people that you're healed and that you're healthy and that you're stable and you're not. Start being your authentic self, because if they're going to love you, they're going to love you completely for you. And if you love you, you will love you completely for you, and stop projecting and stop thinking that other people can heal you or it's their obligation to do that. You're not obligated to shit. Hell, we're not even obligated to wake up in the morning. When we lay down every night, we die. We die. And whatever happened yesterday, that was yesterday. That was the past. It already happened. And if you're worried about tomorrow, there is no tomorrow, because tomorrow doesn't exist until it happens. If you want to start doing better, you have to start living in today. Because every day you wake up, that is a day that God is showing you grace for you to make it better, to be better, to do better, and to love better. Again, I am LC Sean. I'm sorry that this was a bit of a long video. And again, I'm sorry for going everywhere. And of course, I'm sorry for my fro. Normally I got little curls on, but I washed my hair, I groomed myself. You can see my goatee a little uneven, but it's okay. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. All right. And We are our own worst critics. I have been through hell and back, guys. And the way that I'm helping myself and the guidance and the clarity that I'm getting from God, I just want to help you. I just want to help you. And it is your choice to want to help yourself. Again, if you like what you heard, I'm LC Sean. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And I'm going to get a little bit better about being comfortable in front of the video, but this is the raw version of me, and I'm just real, you know? And I look forward to sharing more of my experiences and the things that I've been through with you guys, because at the end of the day, none of us are out here perfect. None of us are perfect. And we have got to stop expecting perfection when we all are God's perfect imperfections. I love you all, and have a good evening.